Let's face it, guys. If there's one thing that goes together perfectly, it's caffeine and horror. Whether you need an extra boost because you're staying up late to watch your favorite horror movies,
what's your favorite scary movie?
Or you're looking to start your morning with a terrifying twist, Haunted Cups Coffee is the ultimate coffee brand to bring these two things together. With hauntingly good flavors like Beetle Brew and Trick or Treat, or brand new roasts like Sugar Skull and Brain Dead Vacation, Haunted Cups Coffee has flavors every coffee connoisseur would die for. You can follow them on Instagram at Haunted Cups Coffee, or you can order online at hauntedcupscoffee.com.
Here at the Haunting Hour, it's no secret we are huge advocates for health and fitness. And one of our sponsors, JNX Sports, is here to help everyone conquer their demons in the gym. Their pre-workout powder, The Curse, is stacked with beta-alanine, L-citrulline, and 155 milligrams of caffeine per serving. They also have new stim-free pre-workouts, flavored creatine, and fat burners like the Omen and the Ripper. Head on over to jnxsports.com and use our promo code HauntingHour at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Are you looking for an apparel company that combines your love of fitness and the supernatural? Well, enter Cryptid Strength. With some of the coolest graphic t-shirts showcasing our favorite cryptids like Bigfoot and Mothman lifting weights, this apparel company is ready to help you look your best in the gym. Swing on over to cryptidstrength.com and check out all of the apparel they have to offer. And remember to use our promo code HauntingHour at checkout for 10% off your entire order.
Hi, neighbor.
Hi, neighbor.
Here at the Haunting Hour, we love to enjoy a cold beer while working in the studio. And the only one for us is a Narragansett beer. Try a few of our favorites: the Atlantic Light Lager, the Fresh Catch Blonde Ale, and of course, if you happen to find yourself on the Orca, then you have got to grab a crisp, refreshing Narragansett Lager. It is made on honor and sold on merit.
This sharp, swallow you whole. Shaking, tenderizing, down you go.
And welcome back to the Haunting Hour. My name is Ryan Brown, your co-host here at the Haunting Hour, and I am joined, as always, alongside my brother Tyler. Ty, how are we doing on this spooky evening?
We said it 2 weeks ago, Ryan, and we were so wrong. We said, quote unquote, this was going to be party weekend 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
And we had some stuff to look forward to. Fire and Ice got postponed till the end of the month.
Everything fell through the cracks. Right
Everything did. I thought Waster was dropping their single then, and that weekend, that was not party weekend, but I bring it up because this is officially going to be our party weekend. So not only are we headed north for our annual snowboard and ski weekend with some great friends, great family, but Waster did drop their fucking single. Rye, have you listened to it yet?
Have I listened to it? It's going to be my number one played track on Spotify Wrapped this year for sure.
Cue it up.
You don't wanna fuck with me tonight, 'cause I could dig up the past, throw my toaster in the back.
I think the last 4 episodes, we started the episode talking about Waster.
I think so too, and I think we'll tap the brakes the next couple episodes going forward. Just yes to Waster, yes to this weekend, yes to I would say winter slowly starting to go away. I would say we're hitting the turn into spring. We're not there yet, but we're hitting the turn.
Well, tonight's topic is deep winter stuff we're going to talk about. So don't get those warm feelings yet, Ty, because we are going so far north. We're talking about one of the creepiest things I think I've ever heard of regarding a cryptid. And it has to do 100% with the snow, with the ice, with that winter tundra that we are going to look forward to this weekend heading up north.
So this is going to be a joint episode tonight. So I too have, I would say it's more so folklore, so a little more historical. But if anything, like what I'm going to talk about is legitimate, that is a means to not go above the whatever X parallel is where it gets cold. To stay below that shit.
Yeah. Are we talking as scary as the frozen hills people of Vermont?
Personally, I think so.
No shit.
I'll give you guys a hint. You guys know I hate old ladies. So this kind of has to do with an old haggardy f***ing ice witch.
Don't like that.
So I think Rye's going to lead off with his cryptid first, but I think we have some unpacking to do as well. How's the gym?
Oh, the gym is... We're gymming. We're hitting a period here where I am right before starting my cut, and I am terrified.
What do you got, like a couple weeks left on like this current phase?
Yep, I think March 1st is when the cut is officially going to begin, and I'm going to start lowering my caloric intake every month leading up to May. So right now, like my baseline, I think I'm at like 2,500 right now. And that's just like my maintain. So I think I'm going to drop that to 23 for the next month. And then in April, drop that down to like 18.
So it's going to be almost an 8-week window, but 2 different 4-week periods.
Correct.
Okay.
And then as those calories start to drop and I need some extra help, the great tool known as cardio. So as those calories start to deplete, when I realize that I really need to hit the accelerator for losing some body fat, cardio is going to increase.
Well, the Arnold Classic is in, I think it's 2.5 weeks.
Let's go.
So when this drops on Friday, it should be a week and a half away from the Arnold Classic, which is like the kickoff to the road to the Olympia. Our boy Sam Sulik's going to be in it. He's going to be fighting Mike the Badass, Mr. Sommerfield. He's going to be fighting, I think... Wesley's in it this year?
I think so, and I think Franklin is too.
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to be later on.
You think so?
Unless he surprises the shit out of everyone. So we're stoked about all things gym right now. And I wanted to bring this up because I think it's going to help a lot of people, and it's something that a lot of people don't really know. The order in which you eat food when you eat is super fucking important.
What?
Exactly.
What are you talking about? Eating like your proteins first versus your carbs versus your... sweets? I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's pretty much it. Just invert what you said. So it's really important to eat your veggies first. So you got to eat all of them before you eat carbohydrates and your protein. So the veggies, because they are higher in insoluble fiber, it sort of coats your stomach. And it doesn't allow the blood sugar to elevate as quickly. That slows the breakdown of sugar, so of the carbohydrates that you're going to be ingesting, so that when your body breaks down your glucose, it doesn't increase your blood sugar as high. So it's not going to store body fat as quickly.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, what are the benefits for it?
You have an extended period post to burn off those calories. So if you eat, if you just hammer Skittles, right, a bag of Skittles.
I've been known to do that.
I have too. Same with Doritos or cookies, ice cream. Your blood sugar, it elevates like crazy. Now, you can burn some of that off, especially if you're kind of pairing it up with vigorous exercise. So if you eat that before the gym, that's a different story. But if you just straight up eat something very sugary, your blood sugar will spike and you will very quickly store that as fat. If you coat your stomach with something fibrous, like vegetables, that slows that breakdown.
So you're kind of tricking your body
Exactly.
in like a sense of, hey, we're not going to store this body fat. We want this to burn off.
Exactly. So eat your veggies first. Eat them nice and slow so that your body starts to break it down. Then typically you should go protein and then you go carbs. And guess who, I won't say told me that, but guess who showed me that?
Cement factory.
Logan Franklin.
No shit.
Yep.
Oh.
He had a post on his Instagram a little while ago. Genius.
That guy is ripped. Like if anybody's body I could have, it wouldn't be Bumstead. It wouldn't be Wesley, it would be Logan Franklin.
Not our boy Hottie?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. But Logan Franklin, the guy just looks like a goddamn Greek god.
Yeah, he does.
And how he hasn't won like in Olympia yet is so far beyond me. I think those judges are crazy. Come at me if you want. Don't really care. But all right, Ty, we do have kind of a little Ice Nine Kills themed night going on here because we were gifted a bottle of Matthew Lillard's Macabre Spirits and the Ice Nine Kills collab called the Horrorwood Reserve Bourbon that we are going to crack after this episode. But big shout out to Ice Nine Kills because Scream 7 comes out next Friday, I believe, February 28th, when this episode gets released. But they have a song that is going to be featured in the movie. And it's called Twisting the Knife, and it's featuring McKenna Grace. And I didn't even know she was a singer, but she plays the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren in Annabelle Comes Home. She's also the star of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So, Ice Nine Kills have a song featuring her, and it comes out this Friday. So when this episode releases, I do believe that the song's already going to be out.
So I hope that it's just a song that relates to what's going on in the movie, not a song about Ghostface. Does that make sense?
Yes, because they already hit a home run with your numbers up.
So why is that not going to be in this?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that
Scream?
Yeah, no. But didn't they close out the movie during the end credits in Scream 5 with that, or 6?
No, because I was hoping that they were going to do something like that.
Maybe that's where I got it from. Okay.
No, I think if they do another song about Ghostface, that's too much.
Too repetitive.
Absolutely.
We've heard it before.
Yes.
And you're not going to be better than the OG, your numbers up.
No, not even close, because this is the seventh movie in the series of Ghostface. So hopefully it's just kind of a song that relates to what's going on, like killings in general or something like that, but doesn't really tie in Ghostface himself or herself.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they drop because it's just going to be
a single.
Right, like and it's going to be something for us fans of Ice Nine Kills and just horror in general to enjoy, but I am curious to see which way they take it, and I'm very curious to see if McKenna Grace is even a good singer.
I wonder if they approached her or if she approached them. Well, like you said, hopefully she's better than the singer on what's the fucking werewolf song? American Werewolf in London.
Oh, Love Bites.
Oh man, she is not great. Well, great concept, great movie, but I'm not a fan of whoever they added for the second verse.
And I'm not going to circle back here, but if you are looking for a great new single to listen to, it's called Live Laugh Toaster Bath by Waster.
You don't wanna fuck with me tonight, 'cause I could dig up the past, throw my toaster in the bath.
Cue that up on your Spotify playlist. Your life's going to change.
It's so funny if you cued it again in the episode, the exact same part. Dude,
I love that band so much.
So much. The best compliment, I think, so I received it, but you do the editing, so obviously I didn't do it. It was Hags, I think, who told me this. He was listening to an episode, and then I think it was either Knuckle Puck or MGK you tossed in. And he said,
against the bedroom walls.
He said, I stopped the episode and then I played, and then he went to MGK and played that song because it was that good as far as a plug goes. So yes, kudos to you, Rye. You've been killing it. You've had some misses, but you've had more hits than misses. You're like James Wan right now.
I will take that.
Which is awesome.
Thank you very much. Also, MGK, if you want to send me a couple bucks because I got you more streams, at Ryan Brown 777. You can find me on the IG.
Have you tried his cologne?
Oh my god, actually. I found a weird hack. You ready for this? So, this has to do with MGK's cologne that I got for Christmas. It's called Lost Americana, based off of his new album. If you're taking a trip somewhere and it's your first time going to a place that you think you're going to love, like say it's the first time you're going to Key West, or the first time you're going to Scottsdale, Arizona, and you know you're going to love the trip even before you go, and you want to remember that trip for the rest of your life. Buy a cologne or a perfume that you've never used before, and then use that during the trip.
Oh, okay. So you associate with this, or you associate the scent with the good times, the trip itself.
So I never smelt MGK's cologne until I went to the French Quarter in Louisiana.
And now, whenever you put it on,
dude, and that trip was that trip was like the shit. I loved it because I love everything for like the originals, Vampire Diaries. I love all the history of New Orleans. The food was immaculate.
the purple drank.
The purple drank. So every time I put it on now, I'm like, I am back in the fucking French Quarter, and it's because that sensory. It's not even an adaptation, but it hits those triggering memories.
The olfactory, whatever. It sets, it's a short-term or long-term memory storage. They use it with Alzheimer's patients, too. Same with auditory. It just brings back memories, whether it's good or bad. But Ryan's saying,
this is accurate.
What if it's horrible? What if the trip is terrible?
Then you never buy that cologne again.
Okay.
But nonetheless, you guys, we are going to jump into the horror tonight. And I'm going to be talking about a cryptid that kind of blew my mind. That something like this actually has folklore and actual documentation with people experiencing this monster firsthand. So we're going to be talking all about the Snow Wasset. Now, doesn't sound that scary, right?
Not really.
No.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. Not like Wendigo or Wendigo.
Well, this thing, let me tell you, if you've ever seen the movie Krampus, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So tonight's story actually comes from the frozen forests of the far north, from the deep woods of northern Canada and the upper Great Lakes region. Places like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, where winter kind of doesn't just visit. Like when winter comes, it is fucking nasty. So lumberjacks spoke the name in low voices, usually around a fire that was burning just a little too low for comfort. A monster known among old logging camps as a fearsome creature, the kind of legend that lingers in the tree line long after the storytellers are gone. So this thing's been around hundreds, if not thousands of years, because people also date this back to Native Americans who first inhabited North America, where they had experiences with this same creature. So the Snow Wasset wasn't just a story meant to scare new loggers in the area and townsfolk. It was something different. It was a creature that's said to live its life in reverse compared to normal animals that we encounter nowadays, where you have like a grizzly bear or black bears that hibernate during the winter and then come out during the summer months. So the Snow Wasset kind of flips that. So during the warm months of the year, it was slow and small. It had short green fur and 4 small legs that shuffled it towards deep shade in the summer months where it tried to stay cool. And if that didn't work, it would crawl into cranberry marshes, cranberry bogs that we have a lot down near like Cape Cod and the South Shore for us in Massachusetts. And it would hibernate through the heat of the summer and wait for winter. So when the first heavy snowstorms rolled across the upper north, the Snow Wasset ended up waking up. Its fur then changes to a blinding corpse-pale white, and it begins to shed its legs. The creepiest fucking thing about this is, in the summer, or even, I guess, when this creature is born, it's small. But as it adapts to the cold weather, it starts to burrow into the snow, and it grows up to 140 feet long.
What? Here's what I find so scary about cryptids like this that are so unique. Who in their fucking right mind will just sit down and think of something like this and then tell someone, oh yes, I saw this, and then it propagates into the stream of whatever?
You're talking about just a blatant lie that somebody would tell.
Right, like who in their right mind would come up with something that sheds its... He just pointed at me. You guys thought I forgot the Mad Chef of Ashford?
That's a good one.
I haven't forgot. No, my point is though, and this is what we've always talked about, is there's got to be some sliver of truth to something like this.
I think so, yes.
Like you don't just have an origin story pop in your head one day back in 1403 and say, oh, I'm going to write this down, and then this is going to be what 2 assholes are talking about in 2026.
I feel like if you came up with a blatant lie of a cryptid, it would be you'd see a fin in the snow and it'd be a shark that like would creep up on you. Something like something ridiculous like that.
Well, I mean, let's be real. We've been talking about Nutsack Quinn for
That's real though.
well, we've been talking about it
That's a real legend.
for seasons, and I bet is it real or a legend? Oh, it's a real legend.
Hey, when you're on the fucking snowboard and you see 2 giant indentations in the snow this year, you're gonna know he's real.
That's fair. What I'm saying, though, is there are people out there who listen to the show who now know that there is a cryptid called Nutsack Quinn. What if they misconstrued it years down the line and like 2 other assholes in like 50 years are talking about it, the origins of Nutsack Quinn?
Then we've done our job on the show. I can tell you that.
Is Quinn allergic to everything?
Yes.
Maybe that's how his nuts blow up.
Oh, like a cat's tail, like tickles him in a certain way. Oh my god. Hey Danielle, I ain't feeling too good.
Quinn, your nuts. They're huge.
All right, so back to the Snow Wasset. So people talk about this thing like it moves much like a snake, but underneath the surface of the snow. What makes it truly horrifying is the fact that people don't really know what this thing looks like. People say it could be something like a fox with fur with no legs that's is 140 feet long.
Ew.
So you're talking sharp teeth, something that could be potentially deadly if it decides to attack you.
So I think we should just talk about the 140 feet thing. That's not. I don't think that's legit. I think that's. Remember when we talked about Thunderbirds and they said that Origin newspaper that came out in their late 1800s that said, oh yeah, there was a bird that was 140 feet. I think that was, or 160 feet. That was blown out of proportions so that it got legs, so that it proverbially got into the stream of gossip. Maybe this thing is 30 or 40 feet. I don't think it's 140.
No, that seems, a little blown out of proportion.
Yeah, that's clickbait. So that's to keep that story going, I think.
It favored anything that wanders in the woods regarding food. So it could be something as small as like a snowshoe hare that's sitting on the surface of the snow. Something like a crow that lands on the snow. This thing is known to attack from underneath, much like a great white shark does in certain areas of the world. Like the great white shark's known to hunt from below in places like South Africa and off the coast of California, where along the coast of like Cape Cod, they're known to attack from the shoreline, so it's different. But this thing attacks much like those great whites in South Africa and California from below when something lands on the surface of the snow.
Okay. This is this is literally Krampus. And the first time I saw Krampus, the first fucking time, the scariest thing to me was this thing that was slithering through the snow.
Right.
And it went out. It actually, I think that it had the highest kill count of everything in the movie.
Yeah, because it kills like 4 people right at the end.
Yeah, at least 3 people.
Remember
Adam Scott goes.
Remember when Adam Scott, he's just like standing there and then he just disappears.
Yeah, he shuts his eyes after the revolver's out of bullets. Yep.
So good.
And then his wife and his sister-in-law, they get taken by this thing too. I thought that was just like a genius idea for the movie. But the fact that it's based on this, that's sick.
So it said if the Snow Wasset ended up getting hungry enough, it would be known to attack prey as large as a wolf or a bobcat. And then if you're progressing kind of in the way where loggers up north, people who are going up north for recreation, snowshoeing, this thing is not going to show any type of mercy just because you're a human. If it's hungry enough and it feels the vibration on the top of the snow, you could be prey if you're in the wrong area.
You know what you're talking about, right? We're talking about Tremors. We're talking
Holy
about
fuck, yeah.
we're talking about Kevin Bacon.
We killed it.
Fuck you!
I think to that point, humans are easier prey than something like a wolf.
Not as fast.
Exactly.
Not as agile in the snow.
We'd have just stubby hands compared to like claws. We have barely, well, I have sharp teeth, but normal humans don't have sharp teeth at all. Very easy to eat.
There is documentation. There are firsthand accounts of people going missing. And especially up north in Canada, when you had lumber camps, people would go out to harvest timber. each year they would notice that men would go missing. If you traveled alone, if you were going to a specific section of the woods to harvest timber, sometimes this person would never come back. So one story comes out of a town north of Pembroke, Canada. There was a group of loggers who were traveling through a dense forest with deep snow. The loggers were snowshoeing to scout for new locations to harvest timber. So while traveling in this group, they saw depressions in the snow that started to move in a linear fashion. As they noticed these linear depressions starting to move, they realized that it was all connected. So not only did these depressions start to move, but they realized that it was one long creature. So as they realized what was happening, one man on the outskirts of the group disappears beneath the snow, almost as if the earth opened up underneath him and swallowed him. Whatever grabbed him moved so quickly out of sight deeper into the woods that the men could do nothing about their coworker and left immediately. Native Americans have also had first-hand encounters with this creature dating back hundreds of thousands of years in North America, specifically in places like northern Michigan and the Great Lakes region. People in northern states in the U.S. and also like big mountains up in Canada have seen snow depressions and things moving underneath feet of snow on the top of mountains as they're snowboarding or skiing down.
So let's think about this like logistically and animalistically, because or ecologically, as you like to say.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of like it makes sense.
Yes, I think so.
For like, let's say there is a predator that does, I guess, move or hunt under the snow.
Right.
It makes sense because if you're on top of it, it's so hard to move.
Absolutely. I think that it takes a lot more effort for you to actually, if you're an animal, walk on the top of snow because you're going to be falling through like every 5 seconds.
Right. And I think running, it makes it even harder because you're pressing down and then you have to like bring your knee up and over.
Correct.
It's so interesting because there's a topic that I was going to do, but there wasn't, it was just more of an idea. The Mongolian deathworm, have you heard of that? So same concept, but it pretty much lives and moves underneath sand over in Mongolia.
Yep.
This is very similar. It's just in the northern territories and trade out the sand for snow.
And I don't think it's that crazy if you flip-flop the hibernation schedule for like a normal mammal like a bear. You hibernate in the winter, you come out in the summer when it's warmer. If you flip-flop that, and you have this thing living in cranberry bogs where it's cold in the water, in a lot of mud, and then as it gets colder out regarding temperature, it emerges and it thrives. And like it sheds its legs. Look at something like a normal deer, a buck, or even a moose. They shed their antlers. If you've ever seen a video, it's crazy. They stick them between trees and they pull their antlers off.
It's fucking metal.
That
is nuts.
So it's not that far-fetched to me that this creature, even if it is like some type of fox, weasel type of animal like that, if it sheds its legs somehow,
so it can move better through the snow.
Correct. It's not getting all that drag, and you're pretty much just talking evolution, survival of the fittest. This thing was more fit to survive in these northern latitudes in the snow because it didn't have its legs.
And then to give it more credibility, it would be the only predator during those months.
Well, you'd have wolves, but
you don't have bears.
No, but if it was deep snow too, the wolves wouldn't be as deadly. They wouldn't be as lethal to other prey.
No, they have the same sort of physiology. They're not going to obviously fall through snow like us, but it's going to be a lot slower for them to move and catch prey.
And then this thing, the kill count this thing has and the lethality of it,
right?
As soon as something lands on the surface of the snow, if it's close by, it's just attacking from underneath.
Dude, I can't believe I've never heard of something like this.
Very creepy.
So is this just in the U.S. or is this across like the northern hemisphere, like northern Russia and shit?
I haven't heard of anything in other parts of the world. I'm saying this is just Canada, northern United States during the winter months.
North Conway, where we're going next weekend or this coming weekend.
I'll leave it with this. So both Canadian folklore and Native American folklore states that if you ever find yourself walking through the winter woods, especially after a fresh snowfall, pay attention to the drifts around you. Watch for long depressions in the snow. Listen for a hollow sound underneath your boots. And if the ground suddenly sinks, the Snow Wasset may be waiting for you.
What a horrible way to go.
If you're just walking in the woods or you're snowshoeing in, say, like 3 or 4 feet of snow, next thing you know, a sharp pain on your left leg, and you get dragged underneath, and you're pretty much buried alive getting eaten by this thing.
So you, like, alluded to the weasel/fox. Imagine if it's way worse than that. Like, those are, like, kind of...
like cute and cuddly.
Yeah, those, like, a big fox is pretty scary. I mean, a weasel is just a weasel. But what if this thing is, like... I don't fucking know. Like, has 4 rows of razor-sharp teeth. It has, like, an alligator face with fur. Like, what if this is not, like, a mammal that we're associating with mammals? What if it's way worse?
Yeah, and being face-to-face with it, like... As you get dragged under, and it's the scariest thing you could picture.
Right, and there's nothing... It's like being in the water with a shark or with a gator. There's nothing you can do. Like, you're so slow in water. You're so slow in snow. Arguably, like, we are already, like we said, ill-equipped to fight anything in general. Now you add in the elements of frozen water. Horrifying.
I don't like our odds as humans up against this thing.
So, do you think that it was an actual animal that evolved to the environment, or do you think this is more like a
like a supernatural entity,
right, or like a deity, or like a Loki-esque, or the Hobomok Man? I think it makes sense mammalian wise.
I do too. I think if conditions were right, if this thing evolved over time to like procreate in a way where the offspring that didn't have legs survived and was more fit to the environment compared to its brother or its sister who had legs or didn't have the ability to shed its legs during those winter months to allow it to slither underneath the snow. And then that one had babies, and this thing just started to
change
and create more of itself to thrive in that environment. And the next thing you know, you're a logger in the woods and you're fucking dinner.
So, or you're a snowboarder or skier on Black Mountain on Friday.
Yep. I don't have any problem believing that this thing could be an actual animal that evolved over time.
I agree. I think we're on the exact same page with that. So I was just thinking as you were talking about this and as we realized this episode's already going on, I'm going to save the Winter Witch for next week.
Perfect.
Okay? This is already winter horror. Like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I wanted for this episode, right?
Could you imagine being a snowboarder or a skier and...
No, I'm already, like, nervous about catching edges.
Right, but you're hitting, what, 30 miles an hour probably on a board?
Well, 40, 45.
Yeah, but something I'm talking a decent rate of speed.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that, imagine if you're the only person on the mountain. It's a heavy snowstorm, and you see something behind you that's picking up speed. That it's in Krampus. How fast that thing would move underneath the snow, and you know that thing is locked on you.
Bro, I would be concentrating so fucking hard. I would just tunnel vision locked in, like, bend your knees, Ty. You can do this.
If you fall, you die, pretty much.
And I typically do fall on run, so yep.
And let me tell you, you'd come back to the cabin and be like, that thing chased me for a quarter of a mile, and me and Quinn would not believe anything you fucking said.
You guys would already be blackout drunk.
Facts.
You know what? I probably would be too, because I don't go snowboarding unless I have 4 or 5 fireball nips. That is an awesome topic, though. I'm going to golf clap because it's something I've never heard of. And it's something that I've never heard of that is that believable.
So yes, guys, that is our episode on the Snow Wasset. We hope you enjoyed this one. If you can do us a solid, give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, we would be eternally grateful to you. You guys can also rate us on Spotify and follow us on Instagram. We are at Brown Brothers Haunting Hour. Big shout out to all of our sponsors. We got Haunted Cups Coffee, Narragansett Beer, Cryptid Strength, and JNX Sports. Head over to our Instagram, guys. We have links to all of those. If you help out our sponsors, guys, you help out our show. That is the best way that, me and Tyler keep the lights on here. We keep bringing these spooky topics to you guys. Support our sponsors. They mean everything to us, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode.
Every once in a while, the lights will flicker, and then our sponsors kind of reach out and say,
what the f*** are you guys doing?
No, I was going to say, oh, so-and-so reached out to us and bought product. Thanks for doing what you're doing. And the lights stay on. Not
Yes,
that.
correct.
We have been, we've been tongue lashed a couple times. Hey guys, don't fucking suck this week. No, our sponsors are fantastic. We support every single one of them. Not only do we love them, like they're all great people, great products, but they're products that Ryan and I would be buying if we didn't have the show.
1,000%.
So it's not like we're just blowing smoke up your asses and saying, oh yeah, get this coffee because it's haunted. No, we get it because it's the best coffee on the Eastern Seaboard.
Me and Tyler would never agree to a sponsorship unless we backed their products 1,000%.
Right. That's why we don't like Magic Mind anymore.
And we'll be getting an email real fucking soon.
Shake this.
But yes, you guys, so heading into the spring here, I think that me and Tyler are going to really start amping it up regarding maybe doing a couple more after hours. I do still want to do the after hours ghosts episode.
Genius.
And be looking to our Instagram, guys, because me and Tyler are going to do a live tasting for the Horrorwood Reserve right after this episode. So that will be out probably next week at some point. But nonetheless, you guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back real soon with an all-new spooky episode.
And as always, we're the Brown Bros, and we're coming to you from the grave. Waster outro. I think I'll sit this one out. My legs are not what they used to be.
My head and heart, they disagree. I've been fucking it up.
Genius.
Hell bent on getting That's my favorite song, I think.
That's the hardest intro.
Think I'll sit this one out. My legs are not what they used